The sentence comes down for Sam Bankman-Fried. KuCoin is charged with multiple violations, and spot Bitcoin ETF applications are on the rise, but this time in Hong Kong. These stories and more on this week's Bitcoin News Update. Hi, I'm Nate Martin with this week's Bitcoin News Update. The U.S. Department of Justice has charged crypto exchange KuCoin and two of its founders with conspiracy to violate the Bank Secrecy Act, failing to register as a money transmitting business with FinCEN. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said in a statement that, quote, in failing to implement even basic anti-money laundering policies, the defendants allowed KuCoin to operate in the shadows as a haven for illicit money laundering. News of the charges brought about a steep drop for KuCoin's native token KCS and precipitated more than $1 billion in user withdrawals from the exchange. Following the court's conclusion that Craig Wright was not Satoshi Nakamoto, the still anonymous inventor of Bitcoin, the judge in that case endorsed a worldwide freezing order of Wright's assets to keep him from evading the 6.7 million British pounds in court expenses he owes to the Crypto Open Patent Alliance. Last year, Wright sued 13 Bitcoin core developers along with a host of crypto companies for copyright violations regarding the Bitcoin white paper. Now, the white paper is subject to an MIT open source license, allowing anyone to reuse and modify the code for any purpose without fear of any copyright claims that may arise. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried was sentenced to 25 years in prison this week after being convicted in November of 7 counts of fraud and conspiracy. Along with the prison time comes a fine of $11 billion. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said after the hearing that, quote, today's sentence is an important message to others who might be tempted to engage in financial crimes, and that the scale of his crimes is measured not just by the amount of money that was stolen, but by the extraordinary harm caused to victims who in some cases had their life savings wiped out overnight. With the Bitcoin halving event just weeks away, some analysts expect it to be a catalyst for further upward momentum. A report from Canaccord Genuity asserts that the recent surge in Bitcoin's price is being driven by the approval of spot ETFs, the upcoming halving, and a growing risk appetite in financial markets. Further buying pressure could persist as retail investors look to add crypto products to their tax-advantaged accounts. Bitcoin has twice touched all-time highs so far this year, closing out the first quarter with a 60% increase in price. Hong Kong's financial regulator is likely to approve in-kind creations and redemptions for spot Bitcoin ETFs, according to a report from Bloomberg Intelligence. Chinese asset manager Harvest Global applied for a spot Bitcoin ETF in January, and Venture Smart Financial Holdings also said it would submit a filing after the Hong Kong SFC said in December that it was ready to consider such products. In-kind redemptions are more commonly used by ETFs and differ from the cash redemption model in the U.S. in that in-kind redemption does not require that the underlying asset need to be sold. The London Stock Exchange will begin trading exchange-traded notes tracking Bitcoin and Ether beginning on May 28th. Prospective issuers can begin submitting their applications as early as next week, with a draft prospectus along with a letter detailing why they meet the requirements to issue the notes. There's significant investor interest in the new ETNs, but for now, they will only be available to professional investors. That's it for this week's Bitcoin News Update. See you next week.